Welcome back to our 2023 in Review, 2024 in Preview program with our guest Chris Lisinski of the State House News Service. And Chris, the poor Massachusetts GOP, you know, yet another year of failure, of infighting, and yet there was a bright spot in a recent special Senate race in central Massachusetts. Representative Peter Durant won that seat handily. And there is a new chair in place who's been trying to sort out their financial woes. Is there any real hope of a GOP comeback now that we're entering an election year?
I think we'd need a sea change for the GOP to make a comeback to actually having anything approaching a majority. Their numbers are so slim, but there is a road forward for the GOP to become a more effective minority party, one that calls out Democrat missteps, mismanagement, infighting along the way, like we saw with this year. The Peter Durant win is a sign that there are pockets of the state where voters are very willing to get on board with what the state GOP is selling. The big question is, can they keep this up? Can they bring this message to more corners and maybe even at a statewide level?
Who's going to bring that message? Because I read the State House News Service coverage assiduously, and you don't often see Senate Minority Leader Tarr or House Minority Leader Jones doing what you described, getting up on their hind legs and screaming bloody murder about something the Democrats are doing. Maybe they're doing it, and it's just not getting covered, but I doubt that.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that this year, the tail end of this year over the late budget work was the first time in real recent memory that we've seen the minority party really fight and take it to the Democrats for their missteps. That being said, I mean, Minority Leader Tarr went out of his way to appear next to President Spilka once that all wrapped up as a sign of bipartisanship. So I think it's an open question if that kind of aggressive minority party stance is going to continue into 2024.
Well, there will be a presidential primary in Massachusetts on Super Tuesday, March 5th. We'll have all sorts of coverage here on WBZ, but there's no contest in the Democratic primary, and no serious contest. Could Donald Trump's grip on Massachusetts Republicans be challenged in any way, shape, or form, or too soon to tell?
I don't think it will be challenged in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
You know, there are other candidates, obviously. People like Nikki Haley have pockets of support among some GOP power brokers and elected officials here in Massachusetts. But just given everything we've seen, given the way the national trend appears to be going, I think it'll take a real long shot for anyone to knock Trump off the top post, even here in Massachusetts.
Well, there is a Senate election coming up this coming fall. Elizabeth Warren is seeking re-election. I think everyone remembers it was only 13 going on 14 years ago that a Republican, Scott Brown, broke through in a special election and won the Senate seat. Are Massachusetts Republicans even going to put someone up to challenge Warren?
It'd be hard to imagine them giving up a cycle and not at least getting a chance to go after Warren, have a candidate call her out on the campaign trail.
Make her work.
Make her work for it. But, you know, we're approaching that election. We're less than a year away. We still don't even know who that person would be. So it's hard at this point to envision it being someone really serious with a lot of momentum and resources behind them.
You're not hearing anything about, wow. That is something. Well, listen, for those who follow state government closely, you probably are already aware of the State House News Service. If you aren't, you should check it out, maybe subscribe. And Chris, keep up the great work. And Happy New Year to you and all your colleagues.
Yeah, you too, John. Thanks very much.
Good to see you. That's